Ethan Walker hadn't been on a date in 4 years. Not since the night his wife, Lily, died on a rain-slick highway, leaving him alone with a 3-year-old daughter and a grief so heavy it felt like breathing underwater. Since then, Ethan's world had shrunk to school drop-offs, night shifts at the warehouse, microwave dinners, and bedtime stories read through exhaustion. His friends, well-meaning but clueless, never stopped trying to fix him. "Man, you can't live like this forever," Jake would say. "You need to get back out there," Mark insisted. Ethan always smiled and changed the subject. They didn't understand that love, once lost like that, didn't leave space behind. It left a scar. So when the group chat exploded one Friday afternoon, Ethan already knew something was wrong. Blind date. Her idea. "She's interesting," Jake said. "Don't chicken out," Mark added with a laughing emoji. Ethan almost didn't go. He stood in front of his bathroom mirror that evening, adjusting a shirt that hadn't seen daylight in years. His daughter, Mia, peeked around the doorframe. "Daddy, are you going somewhere?" she asked. He knelt down, brushing her hair gently. "Just coffee, sweetheart." "With a lady?" she asked, far too perceptive for 6. Ethan paused. Then nodded. Mia smiled. "I hope she's nice to you." That almost broke him. The café was small, warm, the kind of place couples lingered in without watching the clock. Ethan scanned the room nervously, already preparing for embarrassment. Maybe she wouldn't show. Maybe that was the joke. Then he saw her. She was sitting alone near the window, sunlight catching in her dark hair. No phone. No impatience. Just quiet calm. When their eyes met, she smiled, not the forced kind, but something soft and real. "Ethan," she asked, standing. He nodded, stunned. "Yeah. Hi. I'm Claire." They shook hands. Her grip was warm. Steady. The conversation didn't stumble. It flowed. They talked about work, about books, about the strange comfort of silence. She laughed at his dry humor. He found himself smiling without forcing it, something that felt almost dangerous. Halfway through, he told her the truth. "I should probably say, this was kind of a joke date. My friends thought it would be funny." Claire blinked. Then smiled again, sadly this time. "They told me the same thing," she said. "Said you were emotionally unavailable. Probably wouldn't show." Ethan exhaled, surprised. "Guess we both got lied to." They laughed together. And in that moment, something shifted. Before they left, Claire hesitated. "I had a nice time," she said. "No pressure. Just honest." Ethan nodded. "Me too." He walked home lighter than he'd felt in years, then immediately hated himself for it. Because hope, once broken, is terrifying to rebuild, Ethan didn't text her for 3 days. Not because he didn't want to, but because fear had crept back in, whispering all the old lies. What if he wasn't enough? What if his grief scared her away? What if loving again meant losing again? Claire texted first. "I don't regret meeting you," the message said. "Just thought you should know." They started slowly. Coffee turned into walks. Walks turned into shared dinners. Claire never rushed him. Never tried to replace Lily. She asked about her. Listened. Respected the space grief demanded. The real test came the day Ethan introduced her to Mia. Ethan watched from the doorway as Claire knelt to Mia's level. "Hi," Claire said gently. "Your dad tells me you're very brave." Mia studied her carefully. Then asked, "Are you going to leave?" The room froze. Claire swallowed, then answered honestly. "I don't want to. But I promise I'll always be kind." Mia nodded once, then took Claire's hand. That night, Ethan cried alone in his car, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming realization that something beautiful was growing in the ruins of his old life. The challenges didn't disappear. Money was tight. Ethan still woke from nightmares. Claire carried her own wounds, a failed marriage, years of being told she was too much. They argued. They stumbled. But they chose each other, again and again. One evening, months later, Ethan took Claire back to the same café. "This place ruined my life," he joked. She smiled. "Or saved it." He reached into his pocket, not for a ring, but for something else. A folded note. "This," he said, voice shaking, "is a promise. That I won't run when things get hard. That I'll show up. That I'll believe I'm worthy of love." Claire's eyes filled with tears. "That's all I ever wanted." Years later, Ethan would look back and realize the truth. The joke wasn't the date. The joke was thinking his life was over. Because sometimes, when you're at your lowest, when you show up expecting laughter at your expense, life surprises you with exactly what you need. Not a miracle. Not perfection. Just a person who sees you. And stays.